At that point in my life, I had hit an all-time low. I I lost everything. I was severely abusing Adderall and drinking ungodly amounts every day of liquor, not just beer. And it was self-abuse and destruction. And at that point, I had given up. I tried to end it. In all honesty, I did. I left the location I was at and completely smashed, and drove down the road, found the first closest tree to the road I could find, and tried to wrap my truck around it. I came to. I had a scar on my hand and a bruise on my knee, and I actually pinched myself to see if I was still alive. And at that time in my life, gone through a traumatic rock bottom experience, and my family came together, held an intervention, and I listened, thankfully. My mother researched multiple rehab centers and came across Farnum. Without my mother reaching out to Farnum and Farnum accepting and allowing me to come into this place, I probably honestly wouldn't be here. My name is Ryan. I've been sober for 5 years, continuously keeping that going.
I would recommend Farnum to someone struggling from substance abuse because we have tons of resources and staff who really are dedicated to helping and assisting individuals finding the right road to recovery. We do take it personal because it is personal. And there are a lot of people who work at Farnum who work even at Easter Seals who are currently in recovery. And it is a powerful thing when you see a whole room full of people who are there to help and assist the individual and their family.
Ryan came in pretty reserved and quiet to himself, and it was really great to watch him throughout his treatment because he ended up extending his hand towards the end of it to the newcomers that were coming in. Today, when I run into him, he's just so happy and fulfilled and just living his best life. He's really come a long way, and it's beautiful to see.
I was down in the intake office. Crystal was working there at the time, and I was talking to her. I was having a day. I was, beside myself. I was, just frustrated. She's trying to calm me down and help me out of it. And honestly, a lot of it was just going in one ear and out the other. And I just remember looking out the window as she was talking, and across the street there was this big barn, and there was a bunch of doves or pigeons or whatever it was up on there. And as I looked out the window, they all just kind of flew off. And it was like, it's that easy. Because in that moment when I saw those birds fly over, it was just, everything was gone. It was all gone. All of the BS, all of the anger and stress and feeling anxiety or whatever, it was all gone. I went from having absolutely nothing, not a bucket to pee in. I have done more with my life than I had ever even come close to doing in the previous 13 years of addiction. Blows my mind. I'm proud of that. And that's the best part about getting clean, is it's something that nobody can take away from you. It was an understanding to me that for somebody to be successful in treatment, to be successful in getting sober and clean, you gotta be ready and willing to submit yourself and let go of the chaos and be ready to embrace the better life that you're gonna have. And it's hard to see, but I don't know, there was a lot that kept me going through it. A lot of it was my family, wanting me to get better. I just found something and held on to it.
He now holds his job. He has a life he's participating in. He's part of his community now. We just can give the tools and we can give suggestions, but it's up to them to enforce it. So when you see them and they're doing well, especially with Ryan, like I run into him and he's a breath of fresh air because he has come so far.
Outside of work now, I have multiple hobbies. Go snowmobiling in the winter, and this time of year I choose to ride my Harley, which all of those things never would have happened had I not got the help I needed. I would recommend Farnum to anybody out there struggling and battling with substance abuse or alcohol addiction for the simple reason of it works. I would like to thank Farnum and all of its associates that helped in the aid of my sobriety. It meant the world to me. It still means the world to me. I'm forever in debt.